of us, and please inform other participants also to join back. And so dear participants, so far we have been donning the roles of a creator. How about we shift the floor of content experience from passive consumption to active engagement? So in our next session, we will be learning about interactive resources with the sole purpose of encouraging user participation. For this, I would like to invite our next resource person, Dr. Rijal Karim Barbuya sir, Assistant Professor at CIT NCRT, for taking us through a demonstration session on interactive resources, concept, purpose, type, development, and dissemination process. Over to you, sir, for this wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyakshi, for the introduction, and I welcome all the participants. I hope so far you guys are enjoying the session.
Sir, are you there? I think your video got stuck in between. Rijal sir, are you there? Okay, dear participants, please bear with us. I believe that we are facing some technical glitch on the team's end, and we'll get back to you on this shortly.
Again? So change the internet line. Priyakshi, can you please confirm?
Yes, sir. Now I can hear you. I think you got disconnected in between.
I got disconnected. Thank you so much for the confirmation.
Yes, sir.
Any idea? As of now, I can't see the screen sharing option. I hope I've been made the.
Yes, sir. You are the co-host. You will be able to share the screen, sir.
I'm the co-host. Let me see.
Screen share options. Alok, please check.
Yeah, screen share option is not yet visible to me.
Sir, you have the rights to share the screens.
No, but for that I need to see the button, right? Share button.
Sir, it's in the bottom green button, sir.
No, I know, but I can't see unfortunately right now the button.
Sir, just a minute. I'll come to your room, sir.
Ojum pairing, ma'am, there's a network issue at our end. We are fixing it for a smooth session here on. And I would really appreciate everybody's patience and understanding in bearing with us as we solve this glitch here. Thank you so much.
Hello. Yeah, Priyakshi.
Sir,
Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience.
no, sir, it's fine. Sir, is it fine at your end now? Sir, could you see the share screen option? Was that sorted over there now? Okay, sir.
So I've joined from a different computer in the name of Dr. Monica Nagpal. So let me share my screen. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Priyakshi.
Yes, sir, your screen is visible. We can see
Hello,
the
Priyakshi.
PPT.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Yes, sir. Sir, can you, sir,
Hello?
can you hear? Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Sir, it's visible, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, I think, sir, please check if you have accidentally pressed the mute button in Monica's laptop. There's some, I think, sir, can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now?
Hello, sir.
Alok, I think sir is not able to.
No, sorry.
Okay.
My microphone
Yes,
was
sir.
on mute. Now I can hear
Yes,
you.
sir. That is
I
what
hope
I
you can
was.
see my screen.
Yes, sir. We can.
Sorry for all the inconvenience. Now we are ready to start.
Yes. Sir.
And after welcoming the participants, let me start the session. As you know, the title already is about interactive e-contents. So we'd like to quickly discuss about different concepts of interactive contents. What are the purposes? What are the broad types of e-contents? How we develop and how we disseminate? That we'll see. We'll see some demonstration followed by the post-T session. We will encourage you to try out some tools and so that you can also start preparing some of the interactive contents. So Priyakshi, can you confirm, have we informed the participants like to download Lumi and install them? Have we provided them any information?
No, sir, they're supposed to do it now.
All right, thank you. So I request participants during the session itself, if you have an internet connectivity fairly good enough to download some Mbps files, so please go to any search engine and search for Lumi. if you can see my browser, so just search Lumi, and the first result that you get is app.lumi.education. Fine. Alternatively, what I can do is I can paste the link in the chat window. Yeah, I can see Nidhi Adlakha has already shared the link. So it is app.lumi.education. So if you click on this, it will open the Lumi. We'll discuss about it, what Lumi is. So it will take you here, and then it will ask you to download Lumi desktop version. There are two versions, Lumi Cloud and Lumi Desktop. So please click on Lumi Desktop, and depending on your operating system in your laptop or desktop, whether it is Windows, Mac or Linux, accordingly you click on that and you start downloading the exe file and then you install it. Please let us know in the chat box if you face any difficulty in downloading and installing Lumi. Fine. So so that it might take some time. So that's why I thought of informing you beforehand so that you can prepare yourself by and keep yourself ready for the hands-on session, right? So coming back to my session on interactive resources, if you see here the screen, these are the some broad category of e-contents that we most of us are well versed of, we are well aware of. We do use them on a regular basis in our sessions, like textual resource, anything that is in text format, be it a Word file, be it a PDF file, be it an Excel file, right? We call them as text contents. Then we have graphics, the infographics that we call anything that we create, any visual thing, non-textual thing that we create with the help of some software, right? So it can be a bar, it can be a chart, it can be a statistical chart, or it can be any other infographic, it can be a concept map, it can be any diagram, any flow chart, right? Or any other banner or any other information that we put through some graphical colorful way, easy to catch in a bolder, bigger fonts, right? That we call as graphics. Then we have audio contents. We all know, I need not to mention what an audio is, what a video content is. There also we know. There is another category of content that we know is animation. And in animation, typically we use graphics or we use images, and then we apply some motion, some at certain speed, we rotate them. We take images at different situations, different time intervals, different angles, then we use some software, and then we end result is that we come up with an animation, right? So that's how animation we see. And then there is images also. So I would like to here highlight the difference between, as we all know, between graphics and images, because there is obviously a difference. Image to me is something that you click with the camera and that is as same as the real object. It's image, right? And while graphics is need not be an exact image, it might not have been clicked, it might be created. It is often created using some computer software, right? That's how graphics is different from image. And similarly, if you see a video and animation, so video is something of recorded of a real scenario, wherein in between you can embed text, you can embed sound, you can embed graphics also. But animation largely consists of graphics only, no live things usually we bring in an animation, right? However, there can be variation also, we can mix as well. Animated video also can be formed, right? And all these category of e-contents we broadly call as multimedia. So if you ask me as a teacher to go to internet and search certain contents on any topic, be it science, be it humanities, be it social science, be it any subject, anything of my interest, if I go to any browser, use any browser, go to any search engine and I search on certain things, these are the broadly different type of e-contents, I mean type of contents, category of contents, media types that you get to see on certain any topic. You can mostly get text, which is pretty common. You will get certain images, certain videos, certain animations, graphics, and all this, right? So these are very well versed, easily available. Most of us are acquainted to, and these are still being largely used kind of resources, easy to generate, easy to disseminate as well, right? So coming to next type of e-content, if you see my screen, that we call as interactive e-contents. Okay. So if you see my screen here, I have listed here certain type of e-contents, for example, augmented reality based contents, virtual reality based contents, scenario based adaptive content, simulation content, 360-degree or 3D content. These are different kind of all. These are also kind of different kind of media types. On any certain topics, we can create all these different kind of contents, and these together are largely called interactive contents, immersive contents. Because if you compare it with the previous slide here, so these are static contents, these are interactive contents. Interactive in the sense, if you have an AR content or if you have a VR content, you can interact with certain things. The contents are not pretty one way. If you have an AR content, so you can do certain things. You can take certain actions. You can click on certain things. You can look at certain things, and certain different things happen depending on where you click and where do you look. Similarly, in a simulation, if an activity has been simulated, created in a simulated environment, you can do on certain things. For example, a flight simulator where a pilots are trained initially on flight simulator, right? So therein, a pilot goes and he or she clicks on certain buttons and then observe different situations, right? Similarly, a game, simulated game or immersive games that today's kids are playing. So on games, if you click on certain things are happening, right? Similarly, adaptive scenario-based content. For example, if you have created a question and there are 4 options or 2 options, for example. So depending on my yes no, you take me to certain scenario on a situation. If I am learning certain materials. So if you ask me certain question and if I can give an answer to yes, then you show me certain set of material. If I answer no, you show me certain different set of material, right? So these are interactives. I can interact with the content, but you compare it with an audio, a text, or a video or image, the things are static as is. I can't change what happens in a video. I can't change what happens in audio, irrespective of whatever I do. Unless I sit down and edit the content, how many times even if I keep play the video or audio or text, or if I read it, I have at max the options of skipping or skipping forward, skipping backward, play, pause, repeat, loop, all these things. But I can't change what happens in my video. After certain seconds in the video, if I click on certain things, what happens? I don't know, because that has been decided by the creator of the video. Whichever way the video has been recorded, I have only option either to see it or not to see it, right? So that's the way we are comparing in contents in terms of interactive and whether they're interactive or not interactive. Now the question is, so if you see here, levels of interactivity. So certain learning content materials that are created or available through a computer, if I categorize them as text, image, animation, audio, video, we are calling them as no interaction, because as I defined, there is hardly an interaction with those contents, right? So, but there are so there are 3 levels that we are calling them: no interaction, limited interaction, and high interaction. So if you see clickables, so there are MCQ servers or there are clickable activities on your screen, on your mobile screen. So if you click on certain things, certain thing happens. So these are clickables, right? A bubble shooter game that you play on your mobile screen. You point your arrows on certain bubble, you click on it, and certain things happen, right? Depending on where do you point your arrow and whether you click or not. Similarly, on computers, certain times we do some drag and drop activities. We drag certain images, certain words, certain objects, and drop somewhere at a designated boxes. Depending on if I drop on A, I get some feedback. And if I drag the same object and put on B, I may get certain different feedback, right? So this is another example, which another way is called matching. Match the following that typically we ask students to do, right? So 2 sets we give and we ask them to match first row with one item in the second row, right? sorry, first column for on one item, then to be matched with the corresponding item in the second column, right? So we know matching. Then there are basic quizzes. So in quizzes, if you create a simple objective type quiz on a computer screen or mobile screen, and the learner keeps on answering the questions, then you can still give some feedback, right? So whether correct or not, or you can share some motivating or encouraging message, or you can show them some marks, either cumulative at the end or after each question, right? So these are examples wherein there are at least some interaction. Instead of saying no interaction, there are still, if a learner, as a user, if I click on those things, if I touch on those things on a touch screen, certain thing happens. So there are limited, but however, the interactivity still is limited. And then there are highly interactive contents or highly interactive e-contents like simulated content, simulations, branching scenarios, as I said, AR, VR contents, augmented reality, and virtual reality content. Right? So I want to know from the participants here if they are well versed with the concept of augmented reality and virtual reality content, and do they have the clarity? What is the broad difference between AR and VR content? If you have, it is fine. Please don't explain what you know about it. If you don't know, please let us know. Okay. If someone doesn't have a clarity about what an AR is, what an VR is, then probably we can discuss. Otherwise, if majority if you know already is, then we can skip the discussion on what an AR is. Okay. So, okay, let them respond. Some more people are writing, please discuss. I'll come back. But even before we know these contents are, so it is important to understand why we are interested to know about interactivity, levels of interactivity of e-content, because researchers have shown, pedagogues have shown that the more interactivity happens either on the computer screen or in a classroom, or for example, in this session, in such sessions, the more interactive we all are, I am a presenter and you are a participant. If there are more interactivity, it is found that you as a participant will be more engaged, more interested. Otherwise, after a certain point, you may lose interest or motivation to continue, or you may lose the focus from this session. Similarly, in a classroom, if the teacher is very interactive, very engaging with the learners remain engaged, they show interest, they understand, and more learning happens. So same is the philosophy with the computer screen also. So when you are showing me a learning material on a computer screen, so there when in front of me there is no teacher present, me and the computer screen and the e-content available. So unless my content is really interesting, the content that is being shown to me, unless that is really interesting, I may get bored. I may not read your content. And if I have an internet on my computer, I may altogether stop your thing and I may go to browser and start browsing something else of my interest, right? So it is even more important, even more challenging that whatever e-content we show to learners for the purpose of learning, or whatever e-content we design, learning materials we design in the digital format, that should be as interactive as possible. Because the purpose of interactivity is not just to keep the learner engaged. It is found that the more interactivity helps in better understanding of the concept. Better conceptual clarity happens if the contents are more interactive. I'm continuing largely in English, so I believe it's fine with the participants.
Yes, the majority of our participants are from the northeastern belt. So
it is fine. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. So I hope the need for interactive content is clear with us, because if you talk about science concepts, if you talk about mathematical concepts, if you talk about historical things, geography concepts, things about our geography, our environment, right? So unless you show me certain things, unless you make me feel it, unless you make me, because just merely reading on the page or just merely looking at a photograph doesn't give me much clue, right? So you are teaching me the chemical structure of a structure of a molecule, right? But so typical what you are doing is you are drawing a structure of that atomic structure image, and then you are talking about it on the book page, right? It is fine. But can you add something in the computer screen where through I can see 3D, three-dimensional atomic structure as well, so that I can see how the bonding happens, what is the strength between the bonds, how the atoms, or at least in our imaginative world, how the different atoms looks like, different molecules looks like, how their structures are, right? What if when I do pH test, right? So if I have a computer lab in my school, wonderful. I can go to my chemistry lab, biology lab, and I can do a pH test on my own. That there is no alternative to that, doing a hands-on in a lab, in a wet lab setup. But if there is no lab in my school, or I'm reading from home, there is no access to lab right now, can I use some software, something on the internet, wherein still I can do some pH scale or some chemistry, physics, or bio or mathematics experiment, and I can get the feel like how it actually happens, how things happen, right? So that will probably give me much more understanding than merely looking or reading certain things on a textbook page. Fine. So that's the purpose of calling of the need for interactive e-content. Okay. Now, if you look at finer details, when you talk about interactivity, okay. So when we are talking about, all the while we have been talking about plus 20 minutes, or we are talking about interactivity. So how do you interact? If you think about, of course, we are talking about interacting with e-contents in a digital format. So how contents can be presented to a student or any learner? Any digital content can be given either in a mobile screen, or on a laptop screen, or on a desktop screen, right? Because although the smartwatches are there, but still so far, I mean, if you the screens are so small, you can't give them on their smartwatch, right? And the smartwatch is also nothing but, end of the day, a touch screen is over there, right? So in a touch or in a click, what happens? Either you click with the mouse, right? You put your mouse pointer somewhere and you click. So you click on certain things, certain thing happens, right? That is one way of interactivity. Or you click with the help of a mouse, right? Or you click with the touch of your tip of your finger. In both the way you are doing is clicking. Or you hover your mouse. So what you do is you move your mouse pad, a mouse in your mouse pad, and the pointer goes on certain desired place where you want to. And if you just keep the mouse pointer over there, without clicking, which we call as hovering, still also can certain thing happens. That kind of interactivity can also be created, right? Without clicking, also certain things should happen. Or another possibility is that as a user, one is click, one is just keep the mouse pointer. The third can be I click, keep the mouse button clicked, and I drag. I take it somewhere and then I release. So if you broadly see, three possibilities happen, whether you are using a mouse or you are using a touchscreen device. All the three cases, either you click, or you hover, or you drag, right? So now in all the three cases, these are three possible ways in which we can think about designing e-contents or some experiences for the learner while creating interactive e-content, right? So the ultimate goal of an e-content is to allow the learners to interact with the content to create a great learning experience, right? Now, coming back to my question in the chat box that I asked was about augmented reality and virtual reality, right? So if you go by the word augmented, in both the cases, the word reality is there. So I am here present in my room in front of the laptop. This is reality. So one is that I can augment this reality. I can enhance it with certain digital experiences. Okay. How I can augment it? I can look at if I'm wearing a smart watch, smart spectacle, and for example, the spectacle is smart enough that if I look at on a certain section of a screen on my laptop without touching, also certain thing happens, because my spectacle is able to figure out in which coordinate of the computer screen I am looking at, right? So this can be one way of augmenting my reality. Okay. Or if I put on a headset and I'm traveling in a market, so I'm physically there, but still wherever whichever way I put my gaze, I get to know some additional information about that market, about that shopping zone. Some shops great for loan for certain things or giving certain discounts. Or forget about headset. Probably if I can have a mobile app in my mobile, so which is having AR enabled augmented reality. So I can visit to a monument. I can visit any monument, and if I'm physically there, so right now, if to augment the reality, what I can do is I can open the camera the moment I open the app, and wherever I put the direction of my mobile phone, the camera, I keep on getting certain audio narration or textual information or video information either on my headphone or on my mobile screen or on the mobile speaker. Right. So these are the certain examples through which I can augment the reality. So that's where the concept of augmenting the reality is coming. Right. So you might have got certain understanding about AR, augmented reality content. Now, if you look at the other kind of content, virtual reality. So virtual reality is that in reality you were not there. You virtually try to be there. Okay. So that's how you take virtual tours of monuments. You don't go to Pyramid of Giza. You don't go to Taj Mahal. You don't go to Sardar Patel statue. You use some augmented virtual reality applications through which you reach there and you browse it as if you are there. I have a long session, right? So instead of you being physically there, you take a virtual tour. Okay. So similarly, you put a headset, and now what you do, you start playing cricket. Okay, you start playing cricket, but you get the feel as if you are inside the stadium, inside the Sardar Patel Stadium or Delhi Cricket Stadium, whereas you are sitting in your room. So you move here, but you still get the feeling because of the headset. It gives you the feeling as if you are there in the stadium, right? So this is an example of virtual reality. You are not there, but your virtual presence is there, right? So virtual 3D, one reality, one other example was is 3D hologram that today mostly politicians use during elections, right? Instead of they being able to practically be present in every rally, everywhere, they put a 3D hologram image virtually over there and they interact. They interact sitting at their respective place, office, and the audience there gets the feeling as if the leader politician is there with them on the stage, right? So this is another example of virtual reality, right? So I hope you have got a broad difference between augmented reality and virtual reality. These are together called immersive content or extended reality, another type of content called 360-degree or 3D content, right? So together these being called as extended reality. So these are still emerging concepts, but people are exploring how their potential, these concepts are highly being used in gaming industry. For example, Facebook has come out with and largely promoting metaverse, concept of metaverse, right? But people are wondering or started exploring to find out, can these concepts be brought in and made use for in the field of education also? So there are, NCRT also has made some contents which are called AR contents, augmented reality contents, right? So there are contents which are being developed, but in education so far most successful type of interactive contents are simulation contents, right? Interactive content, simulation content. But now this was about to give you a broad overview of the kind of interactive content. Now coming back to this session, in this session we want to understand, can we start or learn how to create some contents which also give certain amount of interactivity, that may not be AR VR content, that may not be simulations, but can there be a way wherein my existing contents, which I mean to say my text, my audio, my video, my animation, my images, can I bring those static contents can I twist, can I add some amount of interactivity in those kind of e-contents or not? Okay, so this is the only purpose. So yes, there are easily available, easy to use softwares or software tools through which we can learn and we can make our audio, video, text, and various other infographics and such contents interactive to a certain good extent, with the purpose that, with the assumption that they keep our learner more engaged than they being used in their static form. Okay, so in this session I'll give you, I'll show you, there is a website called H5P. I'll stop here. I request somebody to write on the chat, okay, H5P type of content, so that the people can start using them, or go to H5P and get some understanding. Okay, so let me go to chat and let me write h5p.org. Okay, so if you have a browser with you, if you have internet, since you are attending virtually, so naturally you have a browser with you with internet. So if I open a tab, if I go to h5p.org here, can you see my screen? I hope yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Alok.
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Yeah, so I asked the participants to also open their browser and go to this portal called H5P. I've written in the chat room also, h5p.org. So this is a portal that gives us templates. We understand templates, because to create any kind of e-content or any material, if there are templates, that helps us, right? So this website, they are the pioneers. These guys are the pioneers to develop interactive e-contents which are HTML5 supported, in the sense that means that can easily run on any browser. As a user, to use this kind of e-content, I don't need any special software. As the end user, if I have these contents on my state repository or wherever, whichever platform where from I am accessing these contents, if they have enabled these contents and the software on their portal, I can, as a user, just use my browser and use this content. So for example, I'll show you certain examples to show what do I mean by interactive e-contents of these types. Okay. So I have clicked here and I have clicked on, if you see the examples, there are certain type of e-contents: interactive video, course presentation, branching scenario, and there are many: chart, audio recorder, column, drag and drop, right? Image hotspot, guess the answer, flashcard, find the words, image pairing, image sequencing, memory game, mark the word, interactive books, impressive presentations, questionnaire, right? Speak the words, sort the paragraph also. So there are a lot of variety of e-contents. Okay. So now I'll like to show here a few examples of what are the different kind of e-content. For example, if I click on this first one, interactive video. So what I see here is an example. They have given two examples here. Could you hear the audio as well? Hello?
Sir, while sharing the video, did you select share audio as well? Because we cannot hear the audio of this video.
Let me share it again then.
Yes, sir. There'll be an option at the bottom, share sound, to click
Right.
that.
Right. Just a moment. Let me share it again. Yeah, share sound as well. And share the screen.
Evening, sir.
I hope you can see it and you can hear it.
Yes, sir. The sound is coming.
So here, let me play from the beginning again. Thanks, Saurabh, for the confirmation. So it is a video and it talks about creation, how to make a Sudhi. So if you see, there are dots. If you see on my screen here, there is one dot, here is one more dot, here is one more dot, here is one more dot. So there are 5 dots. These are nothing but, this is a video of making some shape, right? And in this video, what they have done, after showing certain part of the video content, they have added certain questions. So I'll show you while playing. If you see on the screen, now there is a question called multiple choice question. If you click on that, it asks you what kind of berry is this, so you can answer. If you answer blueberry, says you can select and you can check which is wrong, right? So I can see the answer, which one is the correct answer, or I can repeat also, right? And then I can continue watching the video. So this is another question that has come up. Highlight the ingredients that you have added so far. If you watch the video carefully, so this way, see, now this kind of putting these kind of questions, you are forcing the user to watch the video, because unless I have seen the video so far, I can't answer this question correctly. Instead of expecting me, giving me a 10-minute video and expecting me to watch it, I may watch it, I may not watch it, depends on my level of motivation. But here, if you keep on putting interesting questions in between after a certain duration in the video, so learning, I mean, you are one thing you are doing is you are continuously accessing their level of understanding, and also same time you are forcing them in a way to keep engaged, to keep on watching the video, right? So this is just an example how you can create, or how you can create a video more interactive. It is nothing but you can put 2, 3, 4 n number of questions in a video. And what kind of questions? You can have different kind of objective questions. You can have simple yes no answer, multiple choice, select one of the option kind of. You can have multi-select option, you can have yes no option, you can have fill in the blank option, you can have drag and drop kind of options. So all those lot variety of objective type questions you can ask in one single video also. So it depends on us as a creator of this kind of interactive contents while creating, because I'll have my own video, right? I won't be showing this video of creating a smoothie, right? I'll have my own video. So in my video, I'll decide where to put which question. I'll also decide what should be the duration of my video, how many questions I should put in that video, and all these things, right? So this is just another example of video based game. Again, another interactive video content. So if you see this video,
The game of farm animal sounds. Click on the animal that makes this sound. Which animal is it? Here's the sound again. Click. A cow. That's right. Let's try another animal sound. Click on the animal that makes this sound. Oh no, that wasn't the right animal. Click on the green arrow if you'd like to try again.
so this is just another example how you can create interactive video contents, right? Now let me show you quickly another type of e-content. For example, just now I showed you interactive video content, right? So if you go to h5p.org and go to click on examples and downloads, you get to see all this. Okay? So this is a branching or scenario based content. Okay. So if you see, this is about skill practice, a home visit. Start the game, it says. It talks about what the game is about. Okay. So you have to watch the interactions between the arena and the community health nurse. Following each interaction, you will be asked to select the most appropriate response. Possible responses are clarified as correct, not the best, incorrect. You can repeat this game numerous times, right? As sound, adjust your volume, so you start. Okay, so you proceed. Before you go to visit cinema, they give you a scenario, right? This is the client, doctor, and she has to watch this video. Right?
Who is it? What do you want?
So now the question is, how do you introduce yourself to the client? Would you refer to arranged appointment? Would you express concern for the client, or refer to mental health assessments, or replay the previous video? Whatever option is good for you.
Hi, I'm Ann Jones, a community nurse. I'm here for the appointment we arranged yesterday.
Okay, please come in.
Now, depending on which option you choose, the scenario changes in the game, right? So this is another
Hello.
branching scenario based content can be presented or created. If that looks a bit more effort taking, what we can do is multiple hotspot. So here what does is find all the vegetables in this picture. This is one type of example. You can click on whichever is the vegetable. Right? Or let me show you another kind of e-content. This is called image choice. Which of these animals can be found in the forest? Is yet getting loaded. Just a moment. There are lots of images, so it is taking some time. Next session. That doesn't work. Let me show you another one. Image pairing. So if you see image pairing without retry, it says drag images from left to match them with corresponding images on the right. So if you see, I can match this. I can match this. I can match this, right? I can match this.
Have you noted this door?
Dr. Ujjwal,
And the exit door is
are you here?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry. I got disconnected again. I'm back. Okay. So this is another kind of e-content wherein mark the words. So click the various types of queries mentioned in the text below. Okay. So you can mark the words, right? So this way, and then you can check. It says yes, there are 7 queries, but you could identify 4 of them. So these are just some examples of different kind of contents that we can create. Okay. Now the question is, how do I create this kind of contents? So H5P is the website that shows us examples and they give us templates for creating different type of interactive contents. But on their website, they don't allow or give us the space to go and create and store our e-content. Okay. So one option to create H5P content is we download and install H5P software and then we create our e-contents. Okay. Another mechanism is there is an alternative way called Lumi. So that's why in the beginning I asked you to download this software called Lumi. So this Lumi is the another software that is nothing but an editor kind of for H5P. So Lumi allows us to use any of these H5P templates, interactive content templates that we can use and edit using the Lumi and create e-contents. Additionally, Lumi also allows us to save these contents as simple HTML files. So that what the advantage is that we can share it with anybody through WhatsApp, email, and they can readily directly use our content. Okay. So that's why I requested you in the beginning to download Lumi. I don't know if you could download Lumi or not. Have you downloaded and installed Lumi? Okay, I can see certain responses. Some people have downloaded and installed Lumi. Yes, that's great. Now, let me once installed, let me go to my laptop and open Lumi. Why it's taking more than expected time to open Lumi. Yes, now it is working. If you can see my screen, Lumi is now open. The software that I downloaded and installed, it is now open on my computer. Okay. So if you see on the home page, there are two options. It gives you an editor as well as an analytic. So to start with, we'll skip the analytics part and we'll focus on the editor. Okay, it is nothing but the H5P editor. If I click on start, Lumi's H5P editor, so I can create a fresh new H5P content, interactive content of any type. Or if I have previously worked, or supposing I have created an interactive video content that I want to modify further now. So I can use the way we can open an existing Word file and we can work on it similarly. You can open an existing H5P or you can create a new H5P. Supposing you click on create new H5P. Okay. So it gives me different templates. You see here, it gives me different types of interactive video, course presentation, multiple choice, quiz question sets, fill in the blanks, drag the words, column, drag and drop. So different kind of all the templates that I showed you are there. So supposing I want to create a collage, for example. So since I have not used the template collage any of the times yet, so first time I need to download the template. So here I'll click on get and then I'll click on install so that Lumi software will install the collage template of H5P for me. So it is successfully installed. Now I can start using it. So I can go to collage and I can start using it. But similarly, if I have already used a template, so for example, collage, if you go to collage next time, it won't ask you to again install because you have already installed it. If you see the collage, now it shows details. That means it is ready for use. You don't have to install it every time. So wherever you see details means I have already installed and used these templates. Wherever you see cat means I am yet to download and install this. So for example, I now want to use and create a question of fill in the blank type. Okay. So then I see the headings wherever there are stars, star mark means mandatory, red star asterisk. So I need to fill in all these fields where asterisk is given. And then if you click on following the instructions, I can create the kind of e-content. For example, title. So what will be my title? If it is about fill in the blank. So for example, I want to create a fill in the blank on computer science or computer class 8. Right? So I give the fill the missing words. Okay. So this is a task description, a guide telling the user how to answer the task. Fill in the missing words. Enter your responses only in English. For example, I give this instruction for the user. Fine, description. Then I click on the task block. So how many fill in the blank? For example, I can see the instruction also here. What it says, blanks are added and with an asterisk in front and behind the correct word or phrase. Okay. Alternate answers are separated with a forward slash. You may add a textual tip using a colon in front of the tip. So that's what they are saying. If you are, what you have to do is, for example, there was Oslo is the capital of Norway. So what I'll do, Microsoft Windows is a software used in software by the organization. Which organization? Basically, I'm asking Microsoft Windows is a software by the organization dash. So answer we know is Microsoft, right? So the answer I'll write here, but I'll put it here within asterisk. That's what they're saying. Blanks are added with an asterisk in front and behind the correct word or phrase. So whatever is the correct answer, you'll still write it, but before and after it, you'll put asterisk so that the computer knows. Now the HFP knows that this answer should not be shown. Instead of this, there will be a blank shown here. And if there are multiple answers, alternative answers are separated with a forward slash. Okay. So this is one text block. Supposing if you want to add another text block, add text block. So what you will write is, for example, I'll write a computer stores data in dash form, for example, I want to write, right? Typically, if you write fill in the blank question in a pen and paper, you will write dash. But instead of dash, what you will write here is, you will write star, behind inside you will write binary form. So what you will say, a computer stores data in binary form. So what you expect your respondent to answer as binary. But as you know, in the fill in the blank, I may also write digital form, which is also correct, right? If I say, if you ask me, a computer stores data in which format, I can say in digital format. On another can be as zeros and ones, right? So these are three possible options, and each one of them is correct. So I'll add all the options as slashes here. Okay. So I can decide, fill in the feedback. Score range, what score range you want to give? Do you want to give any feedback? Okay. And then it's hiding the buttons. So once you have done the editing, you can go to view anytime and you can see it. Okay. Microsoft Windows is a software by the organization Microsoft. A computer stores data in binary format. So it says not correct. Why? Because if you go to edit now, here I have written binary as B capital, and if you go to edit, what I have done here is I have given here as small, right? Lowercase letter. So what we can do is we can go here and we can see whether you want to enable case sensitive or not. Since I by default the case sensitive is enabled, so even if I wrote binary with as B as caps, it didn't allow me. So if I disable it, and now if I go and edit, if I go and see the view, and still if I write here as binary, now it will accept. both, even though I have written Microsoft as M in lowercase, still it will allow, right? So these are different ways in which you can edit any of the templates. So you have to go to find out each and every possible option if you want to play around with all the different possibilities that can be there, customize. Okay. Now what you can do is you can go to file, and if you save it, by default it will save as just as fill in the blank H5P package, right? So this is H5P file. Now if I go and open it, if I go to download file, and if I open as H5P, file save as, so it is getting saved as downloads. Right, so this is the fill in the blank, but the file type is H5P file. So even if you give me this file, if I don't have H5P software installed in my computer, I can't open this file. So what Lumi additionally gives you is, it gives you the facility to export. You can export is at all-in-one HTML file also. Now if you export it, export now, and if you now save it, the same download folder, what happens now is that now you can see fill in the blank. Now this has become a HTML file. Now even if I give you, or if I WhatsApp you, or if I email you, you can still open it on any browser. If you open it on Google Chrome, you can see just on browser anybody can open it. You can send your students to anyone as WhatsApp or email these HTML files. But if you save it as by default as Lumi H5P files, you won't be able to do that. Now you can go to Lumi and again go to H5P editor. Now you can either open H5P existing file, or you can again click on new H5P file and you can choose any other template and start working on that. Okay. So you can go to image hotspot also, and you can download an image and you can put multiple hotspots also. So I request you, if you can also now, or do you want me to go for a break now? Give them a break.
Yes, sir. I think we can take.
What's the plan?
Yes, sir. We can take a 15 minutes break, and then we can have the hands-on session thereafter,
Sure.
where you can guide them in selecting any template where they can create their own H5P resources.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So since it is 3:20, I think we'll meet at 3:40.
Fine.
3:35. Between 3:35.
3:35. Fine. So let's try to join back by 3:35. Thank you so much.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Till then, you can mark your attendance in the attendance link, which we are going to share. Do mark your attendance, and do mark your attendance during the session only, means right now, or because after today's session will be over, you will not get attendance link once again. Like yesterday, it was requested, but we cannot. So we request all of you to mark your attendance right now or within few minutes, so that none of you will require to get the link again. Thank you.